Hi everybody and welcome to the video. Today I'm going to be looking at the champion spec. So champion is an AoE spec for warriors and it's fucking amazeballs. And I don't think it has changed at all since we started. Um since I started playing champion. So I really don't think it has changed at all. Yeah, I think it's still the same. So what you're gonna be putting your points into is Champion 61, Paragon 13. So you're gonna put points into Teaching of the Five Rings. Increases damage of attacks that generate attack points by 10%. Weapon Familiarity, I'm going to put 5 points into that. It increases your attack power and weapon damage by 10%. And you're going to put 3 points into Grace of the Five Rings. It increases your chance to dodge by 3%, your attack power by 6%, and weapon contribution by 6%. And 2 points into Tempest. So you're going to put 2 into Amped. It increases your attack power and weapon damage by 4%. So your legendaries, Tempest, I don't really think you need any legendaries because you don't use Skyfall ever. And yeah, really don't. I guess if you really want to, you could. Anyway, so you put 61 into champion, and you choose Thunder Strike as your legendary. Not that you have any choice. It deals physical damage per attack point to up to 8 enemies, in addition to increasing the damage the enemy takes from the warrior's attacks for 45 seconds. So it's 25 seconds more than it used to be. And your other legendaries that you're going to choose are Punishing Blow. It deals physical damage per attack point. It applies a debuff to targets that causes them to take 125% more damage from your area of effect attacks. This bonus is half of it as effective on Death Blossom. This may only be on one target at a time. And then you're going to choose Dominating Bearing as your legendary buff. It grants all bearings, it increases damage done by 10%, and every 15 seconds causes your next 6 area of effectability to deal 35% more damage. So that's a little bit better than it used to be. And then from Paragon, I haven't chosen anything because I can't really see any of the use. But anywho, and then your masteries, you're gonna choose resonating strikes. I've said before, like it doesn't really matter much, but in this case it does. Because Titan Strike is, it stuns enemies hit by it for 2 seconds, cannot be stunned again by Titan Strike for 45 seconds. So if you want Titan Strike as a stun, you can use this. It's not absolutely like amazeballs, but when we used to do dungeons at 60, when we had 65, when we had just turned 65, and doing dungeons was like the hardest thing ever. Dungeons were very difficult at first in Nightmare Tide. I think they still are somewhat. And so Titan Strike was really useful for stunning all of the enemies so that the tank could survive. Every DPS was bringing like traps for rogues. Rogues were playing what's it called? The bomb one. Anyways, so rogues, all classes were playing a spec that could stun, debilitate, or something, so that the damage to the tank wouldn't be so bad. And so, I mean, I think the game has changed a lot now, so that everybody's just like, oh, just do damage. It doesn't matter. Like, when Nightmare Tide first hit, like everybody was doing all of the mobs that were actually important to do. Like nowadays, people are just running through the dungeons and it doesn't matter. Like they let the tank die and who cares? But back in the day, like you were trying to get through the dungeon, whatever means possible. You were, bringing it for your dungeon, not just for the bosses. You were bringing the DPS for AoE and for single targets. So everybody knew their class inside and out, pretty much. And then anyway, so 62, you're going to choose Soul Regeneration. I chose that. You can choose whatever, really. It doesn't matter. And then for 63, I chose energy reserves. Uh, why did I do that? I think because, yeah, you need a lot of energy in this spec. I suppose that's why. And then 64, I chose Precision Strike. Attack point, generating attacks, place a stack of precision strikes on you, increasing your damage by 2%. And then also increases the duration of damage over time effects, healing over time effects, and bleeds. So this is useful because this Savage Sweep is a blade. So you want to be able to you want your blade to last longer so that your DPS can be maximized. And then power variation, I don't really use it. It's more of a self heal that I keep. But you can choose power manipulation, which is what I usually do. So here we go. And then macros. Champion. So the only the only macro I have is for my finisher, because the rest of it has to be hit at the right time. So there's no macros really in this spec, just for AoE finishers. So we have number, show blade fury, suppress macro failures, cast proper timing, cast at self, power manipulation, tar last target. I don't know why I added that, but it doesn't matter. You can keep it in. And then cast thunderous strike, cast titan strike. I keep these, like, I have the double slash to remind myself of what the abilities are and how much damage they do. You don't have to. You can keep them out. So anyways, cast thunderous strike, cast titan strike, cast death blossom, and then cast chains of death and cast blade fury. Chains of Death. Oh yeah, this has these two have a cooldown too. I just never wrote them down. But anyways, Blade Fury is instant, so we want to keep that one at the bottom so that the rest of the ones with cooldown can be hit first. So here we go. Let's do it. We're going to have our buffs: our dominating bearing, shared suffering, way of the river, and focus of body, and enhanced conductivity. So let's go. We're going to hit it. So first we have 3 attack points. So we're going to hit 3, and then 1, and 3, and whoops, and 5, and 3, and 1, and 3, and 2, 6. Sorry, I'm actually not doing it right. I'm going to start my rotation better. So here we go. Da 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 da. And 6, and 2, and 3. And there we go. Got it better. I'm doing it right this time. Oh, so now I know that I have Death Blossom up, so we're going to hit that. And 6, and 2, and there we go. I love the damage for champion. It's amazing. I'll explain things better a little bit after. But first of all, you just need to see the rotation, I think. So now I know that I need to hit 4, because Death Blossom is up. Ooh. I'll explain things. Oh, this was not good. Keep Savage Sweep. I mean, like I said, I'm not min-maxing right now, but it shows you what to do, really. It shows you how the spec is played a little bit better. Ah. Death Blossom. Okay, so I'll tell you. So you need to keep one off cooldown as much as possible. Sorry, on cooldown as much as possible. So you hit 1, and then 3, and then you put your dot on, and then 3. So you hit 1 because it's off cooldown, and then 5 when it's off cooldown. See? Oh, and when I see this motion that I just did, that's when I know that I need to hit 4 as my finisher. Its Death Blossom is up. I'll show you it again when it's back up. So you see I just hit 5 and now I'm hitting 1 because it's off cooldown. And 6 because I need to keep my dots on. Got it. Okay, now 5 because it's off cooldown. Yeah. Okay, and see, you saw this motion? This was when I needed to do Death Blossom. So I hit 4 as my finisher when Death Blossom is up. Now it's not up for long, so I basically I think I can only use it for like 5 seconds or something, or 10. But basically it's like it's not a long window of time for me to use it, so I can only use it 2 times really. So now we hit 6. Let's put it off cooldown, and there we go. So there you go. That's the spec for you, really. Champion is pretty easy, but it's a lot of keeping your eye on your dots and everything. So now, oh, Death Blossom is up. Gotta hit 4 as my finisher. See? Death Blossom is that little purple face. But I can't use it anymore because I've got this long fucking thing. Yeah. Punishing Blow becomes Death Blossom, becomes a Death Blossom window of time for me to use Punishing Blow. So yeah, that's that. Alright, so that's the spec for you guys. Yay! This guy was playing Reaver. Okay. So that's Champion for you guys, and I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it was clear enough. If you have any other questions, you can let me know in the comments. I'll try to answer as succinctly as I can. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye.